our podcast, Keeping It Real. Welcome back to Keeping It Real. I'm Irene Meyer, and today's episode is one that's very close to my heart, especially speaking to my fellow advisors, because today we're not talking to clients, we're talking to you. If you're in financial services, if you're building plans, if you're walking families through protection, investing, estate conversations, really, this episode is about how we can become better advisors. Phillipe is here with me today.
Always excited for these ones, Irene, especially when we challenge our own profession a little bit.
Exactly. So today we're unpacking something subtle but powerful. Many clients feel pressure to follow a rigid step-by-step financial plan because we present it that way, not intentionally, not maliciously, not structurally, but the truth is, all the steps matter. Protection matters, cash flow matters, investing matters, estate planning matters, but they don't always need to happen in a perfectly rigid sequence. So today, we're asking how can we communicate structure without creating psychological pressure? Like, how do we guide without locking people into a staircase? And how do we become the kind of advisors who create confidence instead of compliance? And that's what today is about. So, let me share something I've seen repeatedly. A client walks in, they're motivated, they want to get their finances in order. We present the plan. Step 1, emergency fund. Step 2, eliminate debt. Step 3, max out registered accounts. Step 4, insurance review. Step 5, estate planning. And somewhere around step 2 or 3, they stall. Not because they disagree, but because life doesn't move in straight lines, right? A child gets sick, a job changes, a parent needs help, a business opportunity appears, and suddenly they feel like they've failed the sequence.
Yeah, you know what? And the worst part is they actually haven't failed at all. They've just experienced life.
Yeah, exactly. And if we unintentionally frame financial planning as a staircase, they feel like missing a step means starting over, right? And that's on us. So today we're reframing the staircase into something really healthier.
And let's be honest, we use step-by-step frameworks because they're clean, they're teachable, they're compliant, and they create clarity. We learn the structure thinking from mentors, textbooks, and thought leaders like Benjamin Graham, who emphasized discipline and protection, principles that later shaped investors like Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. Structure matters, but structure is not the same as sequence.
No, and that's the key distinction, right? Structure means all pillars are present. Sequence implies that there's an order that's mandatory, and life rarely cooperates with mandatory order, right? When clients believe finances must follow strict order, three things happen, right? First of all, they delay action until everything is perfect, right? They feel guilt when progress isn't, linear. They disengage when they fall off sequence. It happens all the time. So instead of confidence, we've unintentionally created performance anxiety. And that's not what financial planning should feel like, right, Phil?
You're right. Financial planning should feel like guidance, not grading.
Yeah. And here's really the shift. Instead of saying, first we do this, then we do this, then we do this, we say, these are the pillars. Let's decide which one needs attention right now. Protection doesn't always wait until debt is gone. Investing doesn't always wait until every dollar is optimized. Estate planning doesn't start when you're elderly. That's a big one. And we
Yes.
meet clients really where urgency and opportunity intersect.
It's less staircase, more ecosystem. Every part matters, but we nurture what's most vulnerable first.
Yeah. Let's make this practical. Here are 5 communication shifts that I guess advisors can really implement immediately. So the first one is instead of saying first, then, right, replace that with priority language. So instead of first, we eliminate debt, say, right now, debt reduction may be your highest priority. Really, that alone changes everything. Can you think of any others, Phil?
Yeah, like we normalize nonlinear progress. Tell clients up front, your financial life will not move in a straight line. That's normal.
Yeah. Maybe a third one is ask anchoring questions like what feels most urgent right now? That's a big one. What would give you peace of mind first? What risk would hurt the most if left unaddressed?
And you could use visual models that aren't ladders, right? Like avoid staircase charts, use circles, pillars, or foundation.
Yeah. Number five, you can always reassure often as you move along because really progress is cumulative, right? It's not sequential.
Here's the uncomfortable part. Sometimes we like the step-by-step model because it makes us look organized. It reinforces our authority. It makes us feel in control.
Right. But control isn't the goal, guys, right? Clarity is. Clients don't need to follow our choreography. They need to feel supported in their reality. Like the moment we shift from this is how it must go to let's build this intelligently around your life. Really, you deepen your trust. Advisors who communicate flexibility, they see higher client retention. So you're going to keep your clients longer, fewer stalled plans like Phil. I mean, how many clients do we have that have stalled, kind of the pillars that we've kind of set in front of them, right?
Right.
More honest conversations. It'll build that trust between you, being more honest, direct, transparent, genuine, and give you stronger referrals, right? Because clients with this process in mind, they don't feel judged by timing. They feel understood. And that really creates durability.
And ironically, when clients feel less pressure, they move faster.
Yeah. And so if you're listening and you're an advisor, here's your takeaway. Keep the structure, but honor every pillar, right? Protection, cash flow, investment, tax, estate, they all matter. But don't present them as a staircase that they have to, climb perfectly. Present them as tools because our role isn't to really enforce sequence, right? It's to guide progress. And when we shift from rigid sequencing to adaptive prioritization, we don't just build better plans. Really, we become better advisors, right, Phil?
Right. And you know what? That's keeping it real. If today's conversation resonated with you, share it with another advisor who needs to hear it. Because sometimes the most powerful growth in this profession starts with us.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Keep it real.